Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jerneal. I'm your host, Jerneal, and I got a special guest with me. Special guest, introduce yourself.
Sydney Janae.
Hey, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. I got a pretty good topic to talk about today. Something that we need to shine a light on. Something that's been going on for a while now. I've been noticing it for a while now. It's called 50-50 versus paying all the bills in the house.
Yes.
And you see it all over social media and everything. Whether, let's see if you and your significant other should pay either half of the bills in the house, y'all go half and half, or do you just put all the bills on one person? Cindy, tell me what you think about that.
I feel like it depends on their circumstance and relationship. Like who has the better job, who's getting paid more. It definitely depends on who's the breadwinner in the relationship.
True, so true. And I can't beat you on that one. I really can't bash you on that one. When it comes to 50-50, let's focus on that point. Okay. 50-50 in the household. That's just like you moving in with this guy or you being married to this person and you pay half and he pay half. Okay. Both of y'all come together on basically all the household expenses, which isn't a bad idea, but at the same time, you always got them people who are on Instagram or even social media who think different. They got their pride, they got their ego. It all depends on how you was raised as well. Because, it's a whole bunch of, our parents and grandparents. A lot of them, they was raised to, actually as the main bill payer. I hope I'm saying it right. They was raised as the main bill payer in the house back then.
Right.
Coming up, grandma would give grandpa all the money to pay the bills, and grandpa would pay all the bills for her. But nowadays, you pay 50-50. And it seems like you always gonna have some feedback from social media, no matter if it's toxic or if it's just truthful. Tell me some more about that. What you think about that?
I feel like a little bit has changed as well with people having a stash of their own money now. Like how you said back then, everyone, their husband and wife, like especially husband and wives, wife used to get their money and of course give it out to the husband and let them handle the household business. But now in this day and age, people want their own money. They want their own savings. They want their own account. People really don't do joint anymore. So it's kind of sort of like you basically have to do half and half because you don't want to give your entire funds to your significant other. You want to keep some. But I feel like the question is, what's 50-50? Is 50-50 like splitting the mortgage and then still doing some side bills? Or it's 50-50 like he taking over the major bills and you're only doing cable and light and like extra curricular things?
Well, it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. It's a little bit of both. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Say like if me and my significant other, me and my woman, or maybe me and my future wife, they moved in a house together. Mm-hmm. I pay the rent. I pay the car note. I pay the utilities. And, the only thing she does is she gets the food. Right. She pays the car insurance. She pays the rental insurance. We all go half. We all go half on it together. We all put our money together. Compared to other households, all the bills are put on one person, which is actually kind of stressful. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but hey, that's why we call it Keeping It Real with Jerneal. That stuff is stressful. But to each their own. It all depends on how that person was raised. Because back then, you got some people out here. I'm talking to the older people. They got that old school mindset how, either the dad or the granddad was the main one who handles all the financial problems in the house.
Right.
Every payday, he's the one who paid all the bills in the house. And the woman was the one who kept the house clean and everything. But, tell me some more on what you think about the whole 50-50 versus... What you call it? 50-50 versus paying all the bills in the house.
So, okay, I have a question. So,
okay.
Would it matter if the husband is having most of the income supply coming in? Would you expect him to still pay most or even all of the bills and that still be fair? Or would you still expect him to go half and he still expect you to come in half so he can save some of his money too?
If the husband was bringing in the most money in the household, I wouldn't really place all that on him just because he brings in the most. Like, I kind of see it as if either one of us have a despair, hey, go ahead and handle that.
That's true.
And that's just the way I feel. I'm all along with the 50-50 side. I go half and you go half. I know people won't like me for that, but at the same time, that's just me. Teach their own.
That's true.
Compared to, me being in a different household and the woman putting all the bills on me. And, if I'm able to, then I'll pay what I can.
Right.
But if I'm not able to, then of course, I'm expecting my woman to have my back, for financial reasons.
So even if you're
for backup,
even if you is completely, if y'all is financially completely set, comfortable with everything, she really don't have to worry about nothing if she don't have to. Would you still feel like she'll be obligated to?
No, not at all.
You would just take care of everything?
Right. No, I wouldn't even feel obligated to do anything, and neither should the woman either. All it all boils down to is if you have a despair, go ahead and pay that. If you're able to, do what you can. That's all. That's the way it should be. But with this type of topic, excuse me, it should always be, you should always do what you can.
Right.
Not just base your household off of social media. Because then you're gonna be in a bind. You're gonna be in a whole bunch of debt.
Exactly.
So
this kind of go with the topic. Do you believe in joint accounts or separate accounts?
I believe in separate accounts. I do.
Accounts.
I believe in separate accounts for the simple matter of the fact that.
Or you can have both. You could have both too, but which one you prefer?
I could have both, but at the same time, I prefer separate accounts because let's just be honest. If I have a separate account, I have my bank account and she has hers.
Right.
Okay. I don't really fully know her like that. I know her well enough, but at the same time, I don't really know her spending habits.
That's true.
Compared to having a joint account. And, if both my names are on that joint account, then that means I'm going to get that notification if she goes to the bank. She's going to get that notification if I go to the bank.
That's true.
If I pull out a little bit too much or if she pulls out a little bit too much, we're going to be butting heads when we get to the house.
Right, argument.
We're going to be butting heads when we get to the house, and that's where financial problems come in.
Yeah.
That's why I said separate accounts is always best for me. I can't speak on any other household, but it's always best for me. But you do as you please, though.
I feel like I would do a joint account. I'll do a joint, but I also have my separate money as well. But in the joint account, that'll be money I'm just putting in for future references just in case anything goes on. But definitely like my direct deposit, things that's coming in from my income, that'll be going into my separate own personal account. But I feel like I would definitely have a joint account just in case, we might need those problems or we might have those problems and we might need it. You just never know what might happen.
True, so true. And it does have its benefits. I'm not trying to bash it in no way.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like with 50-50 and, paying all the bills in the house or even joint accounts or separate accounts, they all have a negative side and a positive side.
That's true.
Just like how you said, joint accounts versus separate accounts. I feel like both of them has a positive side. Let's look at the positives. If you have a joint account, okay, you heard it before. People have said it before. It takes two to make a thing go right. Maybe if, y'all could put y'all money together.
Exactly.
Maybe you can make a little bit more progress.
Yeah.
Y'all could be there for each other in the time of need or whatever comes up.
That's true.
Compared to having a separate account. There's also a positive standpoint with that as well because, if you're a bit saver, you can just stack all the money in savings as you go and put a little bit in checking. And if you have a woman at the house, she can tell you what she needs and y'all can just be there for each other that way.
That's true.
You don't have to butt heads with each other like every single time though.
That's true. I feel like social media is really what made 50-50 negative because on social media people portray to just have everything in the world to just have 100% all the time 24/7 and you're not always going to have 100% all the time 24/7.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's more so what the people are now receiving now of I don't never need to go 50-50 because he should have it all. Like in a real world crisis,
and that's
man
crazy.
Might not have it all. And you should be with him if you don't have it all. I mean, honestly, I'm not saying you should be with him if he got zero, but at least something, or especially if he got more than you. You can't be upset if he's not doing the things that he can do, just doing the things that he's capable of. That's what really makes it better. Exactly.
When it comes to the whole 50-50 versus paying and rebuilding the house, a lot of people they starting to base their own household off of what they see on social media. Like, no, don't.
Right.
Stuff like Instagram, that's only for the high moments. You don't know what these people are going through. You don't know what these people are going through on Instagram. They only showing you the high moments.
Exactly.
Like,
I had to get off Instagram. I was on Instagram too much. I was like, I'm just seeing all these good moments, these good things going on, and I just started. That's when you
and it looked a little bit too good to be true.
Questioning yourself. You like, wait, why are you questioning yourself about something that's going on in a world that probably don't even exist?
And of course, you start lowering your standards to, or raising their standards to their point.
Exactly. When
to
you're not
abnormal, impossible standards. Like,
that's so true.
You start living out of your budget,
Exactly, that's true. So social media definitely played a big part. I know the conversation was going on before social media, but the more that people try to compare it to their real life, what's happening in their real life on social media, it definitely played a big part in people thinking that they can just have it their way 24/7, and it's just life don't go like that.
Exactly. And when it comes to like the whole 50-50 paying, going half and half with the bills in the house, there's nothing wrong with that. Trust me.
Exactly.
Remember these words. There is nothing wrong with that. You focus on your household and your household only.
To each his own.
Because like to each their own. You start holding your household up to social media standards. Now, of course, you might just lose the house.
Exactly.
You might just lose the apartment.
Lose your family. You could lose your family thinking that you're supposed to have something that somebody else got. You're not even seeing the backstory of that other person.
Exactly.
Thinking the grass is greener, and you leaving your man just because he can't pay 100% of the bills. That's
exactly.
Not fair. You're never gonna find.
And that's even crazy in itself because women are actually walking out
right
because of financial problems.
Exactly.
Because one little slip up in the financial road. Women are actually walking out because of that same reason. Like, because the women are actually soaking in what they see on social media, trying to base their household off of what they see online. There's nothing wrong with paying 50-50.
I don't know. I kind of feel like the women that does that, the women who relies on the man so much, probably don't have too much going for themselves. And not to say that in a negative way, but it just feels like you can't just rely on a man to do everything for you.
Which they do.
Exactly.
They do.
And most of the time, it does be like that. But I feel like you can't rely on it. And you definitely, as a woman, you kind of just don't even want to do that because when you get older, you got to have your own business still going on.
Exactly.
If you have your own business, when you have kids, you don't want to have your kids relying. Of course, they need to rely on their father, but you still want to be a figure in their life as well that they can look up to and be like, okay, my mama handled her business, my mama did this and that. Not just relying on a man to do everything for her. Like that's how honestly, that's how you keep your self-esteem up, knowing that you can do things independently
exactly.
and efficiently. So I don't know. It's a whole story. It's a whole topic.
It's definitely a hot topic. I told you it's gonna be a good one today. Yes. But going back to the topic though, like what's another one? The women nowadays, the reason they put so much stress on the man to pay all these bills is because I'm gonna bring up one of these rappers that I heard. It's a female rapper. I know you heard it before. I ain't gonna say no names, but she said, I ain't going 50-50 with no man. I keep it 100.
Oh yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. Don't say no names though. Don't say no name, but we all know who she's talking about. But,
right.
But there's nothing wrong with going 50-50 with anybody. I guess they see it as what they focus on social media, and also what the part that plays in it is they see the man as the sole provider.
Right.
And they see the man as the sole provider, all because how they was raised.
Exactly.
How they was raised. Look at our dad or their dad or even their grandpa. Or even their great grandpa.
Yeah.
Going back to that day and time, back then, years and years ago, the dad or the grandpa or even the great granddad, he always had the one who paid all the bills in the house, while the woman stayed around and cleaned and everything. She did her day job too, but she handled some of the lighter stuff.
Right.
Exactly. Like the woman was always the backup.
Right.
I hope I'm saying that right, but back then, that day and time, the father was always the breadwinner. And, the girlfriend and the wife was always the backup, just in case of if I fall on hard times, I need you to have my back.
Right.
And that still needs to be the way that it is now. I don't know where they're getting at nowadays.
I feel like from her point of view, I feel like she was saying it just because it's very well known now. And, you got to put out some music that the girls want to hear. They want to boost their ego.
Even if it's just entertainment.
Yes. I feel like it's more so entertainment from that standpoint.
And she went on.
No way you're not going to want to help your man out. But also you got to think about the tax bracket as well.
Exactly.
When you is talking to people in a higher tax bracket, you might not expect for them to be like, you go pitch in. You might expect for them to be like, guess what? I got everything everything is handled, just worried about you and your business. So it got a lot of circumstances that it rely on for it to actually work.
And the female rapper that I told you about, she actually had the nerve to go on social media the next day and say, ain't nothing wrong with going 50-50.
Yes, because that's how it be. In the
that ain't what you say in the studio, so I know that's entertainment.
Yes.
I know that's entertainment.
In entertainment,
please do not believe what you see on social media, nor hold your house up to their standards. Because I'm guarantee you,
keep things.
Once you do that, you setting yourself up for failure.
Yes.
Every time. It never fails.
Yes.
Don't follow in their footsteps. They're in a whole different tax bracket. And half of that stuff they're lying about.
They just gotta make you feel good. They gotta make you listen.
It's all about what sounds good.
Exactly.
It's all about what sounds good.
That is so true. But you can't take everything they say for true. But I mean, you can play about it. Okay, I ain't going 50, you know, play about it. But when it come down to business, this still real life.
Exactly.
This not no music video. This not none of that. This still real life. So.
But that's the one thing that our parents, grandparents, and also great parents.
True.
They done went through it before plenty of times. Like I said it once, I say it again. To each their own.
Right.
To each their own.
It is.
We all live completely different lives. Our pockets are all different. My pockets are not as big as the next person's, nor is it as small as the next person's.
Exactly.
You just gotta live within your means, you know. If you want to do 50-50 or even pay all the bills in the house all because you want to, don't feel obligated now.
Right.
Don't let a person put that kind of pressure on you. Don't feel obligated in no way. Do it because you want to, or because because it's in you, because it's in your heart.
You definitely gotta have that conversation with a partner to make sure y'all on the same page of how bills will be as well, and she agrees with what you believe in.
Because there are some women out here that they'll look at you as like, he the man. He the man of the house. I thought you was a real man.
Right.
If you're a real man, you'll pay all the bills in the house. No. Don't put that type of pressure on him. Like, live within your means. You know, ain't nothing wrong with going half and half, you know?
That's true.
Ain't nothing wrong with going half and half. I guarantee you.
It's not. It's just what you and your partner agrees on and what y'all feel like is best in that moment. Because in some moments, you might have an up and you might be wanting to handle it all. And in some moments, you might have a down. She might have to pick up the slack. That's just how.
And that's what it's all about. I don't mind. I don't have no problem paying every bill in the house if I had it like that.
Exactly.
If my pockets was set up for that, I have no problem paying every bill in the house. But I need to know if I fall on hard times, will you have my back?
Exactly.
While I'm paying every bill in the house, I need you to be saving.
Exactly.
I need you to be saving.
Not spending.
You're gonna be the reserve person, okay? Your account is gonna be the reserve account.
Exactly.
Just in case if we do have an emergency, you know, okay, at least I can use my woman, or my wife can come through as a safety net.
Right. But I feel like that's how women mentality should be, especially a woman who wants a family, who wants that type of not boundary, but wants that type of good base that they can stand on firm ground. Like, that's how women mentality should be. I just feel like they'll be a little bit childish getting all the money and your man taking care of all things, and you're just blowing the money. No, like,
on what you want.
Yes, like,
I done heard it from so many people.
Think as a woman how a woman would work in a place of a wife or soon to be wife. You gotta think like that.
Exactly. I heard from so many young women and older women, I want my man to pay all the bills so I can do whatever I want to with my money.
And that's kind of selfish.
That is.
Selfish.
How am I handling a bill in the house? I'm taking all the heat. I'm taking all the stress.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you're not even saving for an emergency.
Exactly.
You over had the nail shop, 7 days a week, like every Friday. Like, man.
But
then
if
when
she got it like that, she can go to the nail shop.
Yeah. I don't blame you. If you do got it
like that,
no. I'm not saying like, hey, by all means, treat yourself. But at the same time, treat yourself. But at the same time, business before pleasure.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Business before pleasure.
That's true.
Because if I fall on hard times, I need you to have my back. Otherwise, we're gonna be evicted. We're gonna lose our house. Right. We might even lose the car.
Right.
But if I had no safety net, you know how life gets. Life is full of ills.
It is.
It's just better to go half and half on it. That's just my take on it.
That is true.
I can't speak for every household. You do as you please. I'm not gonna bash you one bit. I'm not gonna belittle you one bit. But you do as you please, though. I just see it as I don't mind going half and half with any woman.
Yeah.
But at the same time, on the flip side, I also don't mind paying every bill in the house.
Right.
But if I do pay every bill in the house, I expect my woman or my wife to be saving on the side.
Right.
Put as much as she can aside. I ain't talking about put her whole check aside, but at least put something aside every single payday to the point where We got an emergency fund set up.
Exactly.
We got a safety net. Okay. We financially stable. We got our head above water. If anything happens, I know we good.
I agree.
Yeah. But let's go back to the whole. Let's go back to what you said earlier about the whole separate account versus joint account.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that?
I just feel
which
like
one would you choose?
I would feel first I would choose just one because that's a big choice between putting all your money into a joint account with a person, even though that is your partner. You just never know what people's mindsets might be. So I would definitely do both. I would do separate and joint, just having my primary money in my separate and just constantly just filling in the joint, for those down bad times that might happen. Exactly. I just feel like that's really like the main purpose of having two separate accounts.
True, so true. And you really can't go wrong with either one unless you got the wrong person in your circle.
Exactly.
Because really, if you have a joint account, that takes a whole lot of trust. And I can't stress that enough. That takes a whole lot of trust.
It does.
Because if you got your significant other, I don't care if it's a man or a woman or whatever, if they're a bad spender, that's going to affect you too. Because both y'all's money is in one account. Both y'all's income is in the pot. Mm-hmm. If you got this one person, she always running to the bank, taking out, you're going to get that notification and you're going to have confrontation at home.
Exactly.
And on top of that, you're going to be in the bind.
There's going to be a conversation had probably like 2, 3, 4, 5 times before we actually agree like this is what we're going to do. But definitely, that's a deep conversation to have, especially if you know your other person is not on the same financial level as you, to have that discipline to receive money from the other partner and not spend it, not go in there, not touch it too much, only for emergencies. Right.
That's just the way I see it, though. I encourage every person to have their separate account because you just never know how the next person is coming.
Exactly, that's so true.
Let's just be honest. It's better to have your own account.
Rack up in the separate and just put a little couple hundreds in the,
just have your separate account.
Yeah.
If you have a separate account, you are good. But if you have a joint account and you married, make sure you know that person at least 95 or 100%. Make sure you know their spending habits.
Exactly.
And if they spending habits get out of line, make sure you have a talk with them. Just to talk. Make sure y'all be on one account, on one accord.
Exactly.
If it keeps going, like my special guest said, shut that account down.
Yes.
Or y'all might have to just go separate ways. I ain't talking about divorce. I'm talking about the bank account.
Right.
Y'all might have to get your own accounts because it's not working out, jointly.
Exactly.
But that's all the time we got right now. I really enjoyed this conversation between you.
Me too.
And we will see you on the next. If you enjoyed this podcast, feel free to follow me on Instagram, Just.Jerneal, Just.Jerneal, as well as YouTube, same name, Just.Jerneal, Just.Jerneal. I enjoyed this podcast. I hope to see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Y'all take it easy. Thank you. Thank you for listening.